more. My father was very loving. He taught me how to love. He taught affection. He was also very compassionate, and he was also had amazing humor. Like if you knew my father, and some of you do, he always made us laugh. He was always joking. He always made sure that everybody was comfortable, that we all learned to love each other and get along. And I miss him terribly. He's in our hearts all the time. And I have to say, we're all better for knowing him. And my mom is also been the pillar of strength since his passing. And I know she misses him greatly. And just want to say thank you, everyone, for coming and sharing in this. Thank you.
Thank you, Darti, and thank you, Rohan. Next, we will call Dr. Jay Shah. Jay Shah has been a pillar for Nila J. Nila J has always said, like, Usha Ji is more than a sister. Like, she was like a motherly figure for her.
Jesse Kasta Badana. And God bless we all. We all need blessings of the high power, and that gives us the strength to serve. I am working in community since 74, from New York all the way here. Wow. I came to California 74, and it's going very good, I think. We know the JK because after coming here from India, England, Canada, we decided to call family. So she was the first one to come from the family, Nila, because of the Usha became citizen. And that was more than 20 years ago before, so roughly 40 years ago now. And we also have all other, what we call family members from my side and her side. It's okay. No, it's okay. We can stand. It's okay. We can stand. Of course, we are getting older in the sense, we all know that I just finished 85 last month.
Yay! Bravo!
And that's because of the blessings like the guy like Bhai and friends, Arvind Bhai, family, friends, all the people who we know, because we like to serve the people in any way we can do. We never worry about anything else. We always think. And JK, I will tell you that because he was a different type of person, we worked with him. I had a medical practice in Westminster. He came and worked with me. He will work at home also. He was an accountant. He can do any job, whatever we want. He was really friendly. He was like a brother, younger brother to me, even though he was a well-settled person in India. He was a pharmacist. And he was also a tennis player. I never could play tennis with him, but he made so many friends in California, particularly Huntington Beach area, Fountain Valley area, and all over. We did many work for community. He always supported that. He was a partner in the program. We like all our family members, including Ravi and Bharti, Kirit and Sona and their family, Bharti, Nila's two sons, two children. One is, of course, cancer specialist in Nevada, well-known doctor. And also sister is also what we call well-known in the sense that she has done a lot of good work as an attorney. And she is also very friendly, Dharti. I know that Nila has well idea of serving the community in any capacity. That was great because most of the people I know want to become president and chairman and in control. But I know that some people don't think what title. I always say what title don't mean serve. I give example of FIA we started. I never became president till 22 years because everybody want to become president of FIA. They all became president. Then they called me in India when I was, okay, we have selected you to become president. Why don't you come? I said, I know everybody finished. Everybody became title. I tell you, the life is good, but see, these are our friends. We never feel bad about them. You know, we always say that we are like a brother and sister and things like that. We are very happy that ladies, I helped the ladies to join the FIA. I did say we have to give equal rights to the ladies. That's what I believe. Usha also helped the ladies. We did many things for the women FIA too, in this sense. We feel very strong about our community because we have very many good people, very dedicated to service also. We are not the only one, we have so many others also around who always help the community. I'm very happy that Usha also started something to work for the women. She will talk something, but I am sorry that we talk a lot, but I never want to brag, but I can talk for 10 hours if you want me to.
Please do.
Continuous talking like Uma Bharati was doing. Remember Uma Bharati? Uma Bharati can talk on multiple subjects continuously, all the time. God bless you all again, and we are very happy that Nila is doing this function and we are very happy to see her brother, younger sister. Namaste. Thank you. Namaste, namaste.
Thank you.
Charla, you want to talk? Thank you. God bless you all.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ બધાને. અને શું કહું, મારી નાની બેન નીલા એન્ડ સોના અહીંયા છે અને આખું ફેમિલી, મારું ભાઈ ભાભી અને બધા ફ્રેન્ડ, ખાસ તો આપણા વડીલ અરવિંદભાઈ, સુરુભાઈ માણેક અને બધા કેટલાય છે, એક જણા દરેક ટેબલ પર જોઈને બહુ જ આનંદ થયો કે મારી બેને આટલું સરસ કર્યું અને ભેગા કર્યા. આઈ એમ સો હેપી, પ્રાઉડ. છેલ્લા 20 વર્ષથી એ પણ કોમ્યુનિટી સેવા કર્યા કરે છે અને જે કેને માટે કાયમ કંઈ ના કંઈ અમને યાદ કરીને એ બાને પ્રસંગ ઉજવીએ છીએ. પણ બહુ આનંદ થયો, મારી બેનને પ્રાઉડ જેવું લાગે છે એકદમ. અને કંઈ પણ અમારે ભાઈ બહેનને પૂછવું હોય તો નીલા હેલ્પ કરે છે કે તું આ કરી આપ, તું આ કરી આપ. સી ઇઝ એવર રેડી, નો એક્સક્યુઝ. દેટ ઇઝ અ મેઇન થિંગ. ઓકે, જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. બહુ આનંદ થયો બધા ફ્રેન્ડોને જોઈને, બહુ જ આનંદ થયો. યા, જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
Thank you, Dr. Jaisha and Usha ji. That was very humorous speech about FIA, right? But nowadays we don't wait 20 years, 22 years. We create FIAs of Cyprus, FIAs of Fountain Valley, FIAs of Downey. So that's how we become presidents. Okay. Next, let's call Kirit Merchant.
Good afternoon, everybody. It was really a surprise and shocking to get my name that I have to come to speak here. Anyway, as a family member, I knew JK from the day one that I came in the contact with the Shah family. And that goes way back in 1971. And then, okay, we all get together here in California. Me and Dr. Shah and everybody came in 1972. JK came with Nila in 1979, and then we stayed all together, even though we were living 3,000 miles away, but we were in constant touch with each other. And we came especially here in 1988, and then we lived as a family together we enjoyed each other's life, and we enjoy still today. And I express my feelings that, okay, Nila Ben, we also lovingly know Mr. Rupa Ben, and she has put everybody together, and it is a great pleasure to have everybody together. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiriji. Next, we will call Devan Thakur.
Good evening. Jai Shri Krishna, Om Sai Ram. I want to thank Nila Ben for making us part of this event. I have known JK since 1993, and actually, he is the father-in-law of my daughter. I want to mention one thing here. Rupesh Parikh, Dr. Rupesh Parikh, Nila Ben's son, and I apologize on his behalf. I talked to him this morning. Due to some previous engagement, he could not make it. I told him, I said, this is a great event. He says, I know, but I just can't make it. And he did not, he's not here. And when my daughter married into the family, somebody came in and told me, he says, you got a great son-in-law, Rupesh's son-in-law. You're very, very fortunate. And I says, you know what? I want to put it the other way. I'm fortunate for having Rupesh as my son-in-law, but I'm more fortunate for having Jayantilal and Nila Ben as my samdhis, because they're great people. And Jayantilal, I had known him for, like I said, in '93, very open guy. And our granddaughter, Nila's granddaughter as well as my granddaughter, when they were growing up, he was always telling them on his birthday, he says, Beta, become anything you want to, do whatever you want to do, but before you become anything, a good doctor, good scientist, good physicist, whatever it is, be a good human being. And you know what? That came from him. He was the great human being. And I remember him to this date. And we had some great moments also. Jayantilal never used to drink, but when he used to come to my place, he would come over and he'll call me in the corner. And he says, this is all fine. And I said, yes. His favorite drink was gin and tonic. And that was mine too. So he knew I made good gin and tonic. So he'll come over and then do this. And sweet, he used to love sweet. He's not supposed to have any sweets. But he liked the sweets that made by my wife, especially our Gujarati Shrikhand, which came with a lot of sugars, but other things too. So he wouldn't say anything, but he'll just sneak into the kitchen, talk to her, and have a few spoons. But he was very open, very human. There's nothing secret about him. You know, he's an open book. And I miss him. Thank you.
Thank you. They say every event we had to take something back, and the message is like, teach our kids, be a good human being. You could be whatever you are, doctor, engineer, attorney, whatever, but let them be good human beings. Thank you for sharing that. And next, it's our pleasure to invite Darshan Shah.
Jai Shri Krishna, everybody. Shah family is very good at surprise speeches, so of course I have nothing prepared. So Rayan's going to say something instead, right? No. Okay. I have very, very fond memories of JK Uncle because we would visit a lot to see Nilanti and JK Uncle and Ushanti and Sonanti here in California before we moved here. And sometimes we would stay days and weeks sometimes at our cousins' houses with Dirti and Rupesh. And I just remember we were all kids and we would get into so much trouble all the time. We'd be roaming around the neighborhood causing lots of problems. We would be fighting all the time and playing all the time. And Jack Uncle was always there to take care of us, to feed us, to give us sweets. I mean, he would eat some sweets himself, and even though he wasn't supposed to, as we heard. And he was just such a loving and kind man, and he was so funny all the time. He would always be cracking jokes and even make us kids laugh all the time. We have so many fond memories of him, and we miss him so much. And it's just so wonderful that he left this legacy of community with us. And I just remember growing up all the time, we always would be part of the community. We would go to the temple all the time. Jack Uncle would take us to a lot of community functions and events. And just family and community was always so strong in our family. And Jack Uncle deserves a lot of credit for that. So thank you for having me to speak, Auntie. And Nilanti has always been such a huge influence in our life as well. Just a wonderful person. And we love you so much. And we miss Jack Uncle. Thank you.
Thank you. Nayan, Mike, you want to come?
मोटा भाई
No. Yes. It's thanks to her, everything. Yes, definitely. I'm JK's sister's son, Mayank. And thank you, Mommy, for having us today. And thank you for everything you have done for us. So there's no doubt about it. And JK has family-wise 3 brothers and 4 sisters. I think only 2 of them is left now, my mom and another mama. There are so many other people I've met after a long time. So good to see you all. And Jai Shri Krishna.
First of all, thank you, Kaki. So talking about JK Uncle, I think probably I know him the biggest fan of him probably since childhood, because I grew up with him when I was born. Lot of secrets I cannot share. One of the greatest secrets that I have, which I was with them on the honeymoon night. So it's awkward because I didn't see anything. But, yeah, so I don't know, he must have probably put me to sleep very early, No, but thinking about JK Uncle, he's my second father. I can probably call him like that. But so many memories, from kite flying to breaking so many china plates, because in our house when I was growing up, you cannot shout at the kid. So whenever she has to shout at the kid, the first thing happens is that another 10 things has to break that. And that's JK's instruction all the time. How to kill the lizard on the wall. His favorite. We take all the spoons and everything and start hitting it. So there's so many memories with JK Uncle. I really miss him. But one of the best thing happened is Kaki. I mean, she was the pillar of him. I don't think he was that really strong, but I think she made him that strong.
Thank you.
And I think, one of the best thing happened in our life, for both of brothers, that she was there for us. She's the one who brought us here. And without her, we would not be here. She's the crazy sometimes, I can tell you that, but she's good at the heart, and that's what matters the most. But thank you, Kaki. Yeah, thank you.
Manisha?
Thank you, Masi. It was just earlier today, I was talking to my kids, Sonia and Samir, about how important family is. And I remember still 20 years ago when J.K. Masa passed away, I was actually taking the bar exam. It was my 3rd day, and I came home to, Masi's house to a funeral. And I can never forget that day, because when he passed, nobody in the family wanted to let us know that this is what happened, because they knew that if it was up to him, he wanted to make sure that we finished our education, we took our tests. Family was that important. And it was just something that will always, I will always think of and I will always remember. And that, just like Mayank and Nayan had said, that, you know, they grew up with Jeke Masa and Masi. And I remember when we came to California, we did the same thing. We stayed with Masa, Masi. I remember growing up and fighting with Dirti and Rupesh, with my brother Rajan. But family was just very, very important to him. And I look at everybody around here, and I sit and I think, you know, I don't know how many of you knew him, but the fact that 20 years later, because of Masi, because of my Masa, that you guys are all here, he would be so very proud that we are all here together. Thank you.
Now let's have some fun and listen to some singing. So we can start the lunch, but we don't want everybody to crowd. So we'll start from the table 1 to 5, so it's not very crowded there. And then as they move along, then we will start the other table. So now table 1 to 5 can go for lunch. And in the meantime, we invite Mr. Parikh to sing again, entertain us. Jolan?